And welcome to CHD. Today we're going to be having a look at the high definition SDI digital video recorder that we sell. It uses Internet Explorer to remote access it. We're doing a remote view this time. We enter in our IP address up here. There's my IP address at the moment. Now, if you have problems here and you're having difficulty trying to connect during Internet Explorer, right here there's a question, press that. There's two downloads that you can download, and there's one setting that you need to do in option 2 there. Let's make those changes. Alright, so let's connect in. So it's asking us here, do we want to view the cameras in high definition, or do we want to view it in D1 definition? Doesn't really matter. I'll just press OK. A couple of cameras come up. At the top here we can change our things here. We can disconnect all cameras, we can reconnect all cameras. It'll prompt us again. I can take off the auto prompt. I can take a snapshot and actually start recording the cameras to my local hard drive as well, or take a photo. You'll see it's come up there just now. Okay, playback. So I'll have to use today's date and a couple of minutes ago because this hard drive is brand new. Let's see, no record. Okay. We'll have to give it a little bit. We'll come back to this a little bit later on when there's some video image actually recorded to this hard drive. Basically, we'll click on the camera that we want, click on all of them, doesn't really matter, and press search, and we'll come up with some video image. There is a log, as you'd expect. So the username, time, who connected to the recorder, and the IP address, whether it was successful or not. Go into devices, menus. As you can see here, the icons are nice and clean, easy to recognize. So after you've just run a few cables, you know it's hot, you know you've been in the roof, you know you're up and down the ladder all day, and you've come to, you know, you're terminating your B&Cs. The last thing that you want to do is have a recorder and you're scratching your head and you're going, oh my god, this is painful, this is new, I don't know this. I've installed hundreds of camera systems before, but there's always a little trick with each camera system that you install. It doesn't matter which brand that you have. They're all the same, but there's always a little catch to each recorder, and I'm about to show you what that catch is. Just before I do that, I'll just run through. So these are our, I suppose you'd say, master or main images or icons, and then within each of those we've got our own group of icons underneath there. Functionality, I guess. A lot of these are a little bit redundant. Once you program the system up, you're not really going to change anything here at all. So if I double click, go into general, time, date, daylight saving settings, etc, etc, you programmed it up, you're never really going to go back in there. Encoding, you can just pick that, leave it default, doesn't really matter. Probably the first thing you want to do is put an IP address onto the recorder. So you want to find the range that your customer has, whether it's a commercial environment or whether it's a domestic environment. They might be using DHCP, so you might just want to jump on one of their computers and just type in CMD ipconfig /all and just see what their range is. See, most places you'll come across, it's either going to be 192.168.0 dot whatever, or 10.10.10.0, or or as you can see here, 192.168.1, and I've given this DVR an IP address of 180. Quite a few things on this LAN. The gateway is always the IP address of the router. Depending on what router, depends on who set it up. Generally speaking, it'll either be 1 here, or it'll be 254. Generally how it works. If you're in a commercial environment, it's always good just to ask the customer, hey, have you got IT? They generally say yes. You say great, give them a call. They give him a call, jump on the phone to the guy, get him to do a remote access into the modem or firewall or both. They're TMZing it. And just say, look, give me an IP address for this. Customer wants camera system. Give me an IP address. They'll give it to you. In this case, 192.168.1.180. Turn around to them and say, fantastic, thank you very much. I also need you to port forward to the same IP address, and this is where we're going to go and have a look at. There was one more thing back there that I should show you just before I go any further. See this this port here. Now, if you need to change it, you just change it to 81, 82, 83. Okay, so it's going to be site specific. If you do, just remember that it's here, and come up to your address bar here. If it is the case, they might have 2 recorders. I've installed on customers' places where we've got 3 or 4 recorders, and I'll just go like, I'll leave 80 alone, I'll go 81, and that's it, and then go 82, 83. But all you've got to do up here is type colon 81, 82, whatever, but that's where you make those changes, and that's where it is referenced here. Okay, let's go to the port forwarding. Sorry, wrong icon. It was this one here. So here we've got mobile monitor. Just double click that. That's the remote port that they're going to be using via your applications, your iPhones and your Androids. If you want to change it, change it. There's no big deal, no problems. When you come to the apps, they're nice and clean. This particular recorder here, we can set up an app for you, and we'll actually display for Android at the moment only, display your company logo or your contact information on the full screen for a couple of seconds before the actual app turns on. So the customer's always got your details. If they need you or they have any queries, it's there. It's a good little advertising, and it's good for the customer too. It gives them a bit more credibility as well to know that you're not going anywhere and you're there to help them out as well. If you don't wish that, we can just put a nice pattern on that menu that shows up, but we'll go more into depth. But that is our mobile port right there. So when we turn around to the IT, we get them to turn around and do an IP port forward of the DVR. So it will be this address here, and all you need to say is port forward 192.168.1.180 to port 34600. That's basically it. That's all you really need to do. That's the only trick that there is to this recorder. So just go back into that and just show you once more where that is. So I'll go to device config. Let's say I'm in a different menu. Go to system, go to net settings, go to mobile monitor, and there it is there. You can write it down or just keep it on a note and just port forward every job that you do. Just, you know, that number, or change it to whatever port number that you would like. You might have a funny number in your head that you like. Make it that number. You know, it doesn't have to be this number. The only thing it has to be is when you port forward, it's going to port forward to that port. Alright, some of the other settings, display, just double click on that, go into there, change it to whatever you want it to be, and just hit OK. So that will name the cameras. Resolution here, change it to 1080p. This has to be done on the recorder. Little drop down menu, just drop it down, bring it down, there you go, 1080p. Press OK, and that's it. In our advanced, the next one is probably important, is accounts. So with our accounts, we've got user types, and we've got users. And what we do is we create a user type, and we give that user type certain permissions to do certain things. So we're going to do that now. I might just delete a group. I'll delete a group. I'll delete security, and we'll do security again. Yes, delete that. Delete a user. Delete a user. Please select the user. Highlight it. Delete a user. Yes, go. Okay, just make sure that group is deleted. Might have to delete the user first. Delete. Yes. Okay. Double check it. Yep, don't have it. Okay, so you need to delete the actual user first, then delete the group. Kind of makes sense. Rightio, so with an admin privilege, I can do everything I need to do straight out of the box. Go to add a group. Now I'm going to call this, let's call it security. Okay, and with the security, I probably don't want them to do anything but view and rewind footage. Maybe backup. Yes, I might want them to probably back that up so they can actually save it to a USB stick, and so they can monitor these channels, these cameras, and they can replay these channels. So that's what I'd want, and I'd also want them to back it up. Just having a look through here. Is there anything else that I want them to do? Not really. That's about it. I'll just copy that, paste that in there, give it a name, press OK. Rightio, now let's go to adding a user. First thing I do is I go here and select the user group. So as we see that the user group is now, I'll scroll down a little bit, but as you can see it says number 1, backup. So that was one of the boxes that I ticked to enable that privilege to happen. And obviously the monitor and the replay. If I wanted to change it and say a demo, I've already created this user type here. You can see what I've done here. Let's go demo. I've given them to be able to monitor and only replay a few channels. Admin is going to have everything ticked, generally reserved for the installer. So just going through that just to let you see, you know. Rightio, so our name is going to be security. Our password, I'll just do 123456. I'll confirm it, 123456, and I'll just copy that, just paste that there as a memo, press OK. Rightio. So we're done with that. So what I'm going to do now is just show you the difference. So I'm logged in under admin, so I can go to accounts, I can change things. Oops. I can go to networks, I can change the IP address, etc, etc. Rightio, let's log out of this. Change it to security. Put in our password, 123456. Let's log in. For this purpose, don't worry about the cameras. Go to devices. Now, as you saw before, when I was logged into admin, I was able to go into anywhere I'd like to. So let's see if we can change the IP address. Okay, so it pops up a message. It says no power. It should say something like no authority, something along those lines. Press OK. Go here. Okay, get no authority. I'm still going to see all the menus. That's fine. but I'm not going to be able to go and change any of these settings here. And I guess it's good in a way, because if you're in a commercial environment and your security guard likes to fiddle with things because they're absolutely bored, you know, they can go through this. They definitely will. You put a restriction like this on anybody's username, they're going to click every button just like I'm doing, just to see what I can do, you know, and they just do it out of habit. You know, I've been in so many security offices, so many times, and the next security guard comes in and says, look, you know, XYZ has changed something, they've done something to this, I can't get the recorder behaving the way I'd like it to. And a lot of the bigger systems like Variant, you can set up so many profiles, and in the end you give like security just one profile, and you give them, this security guard has a little bit more understanding of camera systems or access control systems or alarm systems, and they do tinker. So number one, probably the next thing that you want to actually do is probably you know, change the admin password for sure, but give an owner's password. And if it's in a residential environment, say, look, you know, we give access to everything that you need to. You can back up, restore, play, whatever you need to, but we don't want you accidentally changing a setting and then something happen, and then you ring me up and say, look, you know, the recorder's not working, or this isn't working. So that's another reason. Alright, so we've gone through, I'll just log out of here with security and then just go in there with admin. So we've gone through the basic principles of connecting to the system. We've done our brief explanation of viewing videos. That's all there really is. You know how to focus them up. If you can go into here, give it an IP address. The port forwarding is probably the only thing that you probably need to brush up on if you don't know how to do that. We will do another video on some basic routers that you would commonly find, like a Telstra router, an Optus router, a Billion router. Yeah, and we do also hold little courses once a month as well, so we can kind of like educate you a little bit that way. But look, there's no difference between this and an analog system, apart from you get better images. That's about it. It's as simple as that. Alright, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in our shop shortly. It's at Unit 4 of number 14 Anvil Road, Seven Hills in New South Wales. Just off the M2, at the end of the M2. We're about 2-3 minute drive from there. Great, thanks for watching.